This is an unconventional game because I would consider it unconventional. I was black and I had lost against white a few times, so what I decided to do is what anyone would do if they were rational. Random shit. Anyway, so they did random shit too, it seems. And they lost somehow. I don't know how, but I put my knights and 3 pawns out, and then they took that. I don't know why you take that, because that just helps my development and gives me my tempo on the queen, but that's what you get for moving your queen out so early. Even if you're the AI. Now then, I moved my knight up because defended, and I figured nothing will attack it. Then they decided that they would just, And I decided would mess up their pawn structure because I figured that'd be a worthwhile advantage, and it turned out to be a worthwhile advantage. And then they just took when I moved the defender away from my bishop. Didn't care because bishop trade. Okay, fine. So then I did that, giving the queen a little less space to move around, no less white squares. And there's already a pretty good wall in the center, so I get a pretty good control of things, I feel like. And then, of course, the queen's defending the knight and also targeting a pawn. So when I move the knight, pawn comes up, or the queen goes up and then targets. And then so we do that, check the king. And that's really the most cool tactical idea in this entire game, is this queen takes. Because the king is now checked and defended by the knight, so the bishop can't take, the queen has to take. So queen takes, knight takes, king takes. And now I've managed to equalize the material on 1200 from, the 3 points up to me being equal. And temporarily, like 3 or 4 points up, I forget what it is. You saw it though on the screen. Because I'm going to crop this one out, like the annoying stuff, like, the sidebar and the other bars, all the bars. But you can see the moves. This is much more convenient for me, so we'll just keep it this way. You can see. Look at all this. I mean, this is just crazy. And then this rook battle ensues. I get my rook taken, I think because of that. No, not because of that. Yeah, because of that. They're trading, they could take. I didn't think of that. Don't ask why they didn't. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be beneficial, but I doubt that. I think it probably would be. I think that would have been the best idea for them. I was thinking I had a defender, and then I forgot you don't have 3 rooks, you only have 2. Ooh. So yeah, that would, if I hadn't got that particular Deus Ex kind of thing going, I'd have lost. So that was one really bad blunder. But I mean, it doesn't count blunders unless they cause you a loss of material or a direct disadvantage, it seems. So since they didn't take advantage of it, it wasn't a blunder. It seems like they take it very zen, like, if there was no sound, there's no foul, basically. No sound, no tree. And then that checkmate was pretty cool. Anyway, that's about it for today. Tonight, I've got 2 videos recorded. I don't know if I've uploaded the last one where I was white, and it was barely pulled through a win. But lately, that's how it's been, so, yeah. Win some, lose some. This is the first one I've done with a widescreen kind of camera, so we'll, aside from the videos on desktop, but even they have a smaller screen. I'll be getting back to those eventually whenever I feel like it. But yeah, so you can see these moves and all that, and I think it's pretty cool. I got this scroll bar. You can see that it was d4, d5, then, bishop to f4, then knight to d7. So you can go to a specific part. The bishop to f4 part is really kind of funny because the knight to d7 immediately covers against all those, like, annoying checks that they can do. And then they're kind of hard pressed to find. I mean, you can't really find a check that's easy now because, whoa, you've blocked all your highways. I mean, that bishop's not looking too good. So you go, like, and I mean, the light square bishop's blocked in by your queen right now, so you've kind of screwed yourself. It's kind of like really bad. And then they took, after they moved the bishop in, it's like, no, that just gives me a tempo. So free tempo, and then, yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't really know why. And then that just turned out. See, the thing that people act like is that the chess players predict, like, 5. And it'll look like that I predicted this 20 moves ahead or whatever. No, I didn't. I just know principles. And what I did was simply calculate that, if I do this might be beneficial in the future. Accumulated benefits. Ended up taking here. The knight moves there, takes here. And then I saw that it's opportunistic. And then, you can, of course, play the card that a lot of the chess people play, which is, I'm really a fucking genius, and I don't buy it. I think they just have a lot of experience. I mean, I have quite a bit of chess playing under my belt at this point, online and over the board. Not like tournament level, like 1900 ELO or anything. But I mean, imagine if I'd had, more experience and taking it more seriously at a younger age. By now, I'd have to be way better than I am now, and I'd be doing. There's some impressive shit that I think that most people can't see anyway, regardless of the fact that I'm only like, very low rated. Doesn't really matter. You're still ahead of most people. You're still within the 99th percentile by statistical fact. You don't have to be a grandmaster to be good at chess. You don't have to even be a titled player, to be honest with you. I mean, it's funny. Usually, there's this book I was reading that said, it was by a grandmaster. Usually, when he sees a unique idea in a chess book, he suspect if there's two authors, he suspects usually the untitled player is the one who did it. So it just shows you, chess fashion and that kind of niche sort of thing. I mean, look, Stockfish really proves that there's chess culture. That it's largely cultural. It's this whole Stockfish, Leela Stockfish, and I list it that way because it was Leela was beating Stockfish when Stockfish was beating everyone. And so Stockfish was kind of like the Bobby Fischer, and then we have the Kasparov, then we have the Magnus. And really, actually, in this case, it goes Fischer, Kasparov, Fischer again. Because the original, or if you prefer to go earlier, like Morphy, did Morphy face Stoughton? Was it Stoughton he was trying to face, or was it Steinitz? I forget. Someone who had an S in their name. They're all the same. If they play chess and have an S in their name, they're all the same to me. Peter, Tigran Petrosian. He has an S in his name, so he plays chess, so he's the same as Magnus Carlsen and me, because my name is Joseph Hutchinson. So clearly, I'm Magnus Carlsen. You can tell from this great, lovely skill. By that I mean not at all anywhere near comparable. But I wish. Maybe one day in the hearts and minds of my delusional self in the future. When I've, lost my mind and gone schizophrenic. But anyway, until then, I'll still upload videos of how much I suck. Enjoy your day. Peace.